It was almost 10 a.m. when we reached the pile. "Sonny, we have visitors." Dad tossed a handful of onion circles onto the mound. "You can come out." Sonny's hand erupted from the mulch. Next, his head and shoulders. Soon the figure emerged, like a newborn from its mother. The smell was even more horrid up close. "Sonny, these are my children. You've met my wife." The creature nodded. "They want to know who you are, Sonny. Will you show them?" The abomination gazed at us with empty eye sockets. Rotted pumpkin pulp dripped from its fingers. "Tell us who you are." The behemoth plunged its hands deep into its chest and pulled out a shriveled object, as black as an olive. Ayla squealed as the monster placed the item in Dad's palm. "What is that?" I gasped. "Come closer," Dad said. "I want you all to see it." My siblings and I circled around. The item resembled a tiny organ, fleshy almost, but it had a hard, shell-like quality. It almost seemed like a seed. I found it in the woods years ago. I didn't know what it was, so I tossed it into the compost. Months later, a tiny creature had sprouted. Now it's the specimen you see before you. I shifted my gaze to the rotting behemoth. The thing was breathing heavier now, studying the trees. A gray squirrel scurried by on a branch, chittering nervously. "Your father and I didn't want you to know about it," Mom confessed. "We were afraid you'd think it was dangerous?" I asked. Dad deposited the seed in his pocket. "We've had a few incidents with animals." "What animals?" "First there was the squirrel and the owl, then the neighbor's cat. But worst of all," Dad's voice shook, "we had the accident on Monday." I panned to Mom's horrified expression, then Dad's. Their faces told me everything. "Wait, you're saying that Perky was eaten by this thing?" "I wanted to tell you." Dad ran nervous fingers through his hair. "But I didn't know how you'd take it." "You lied to us?" Ayla gawked, mortified. "About our cat?" "Sonny only eats fruit and vegetables, but lately his cravings have changed. I always tell your mother to keep Perky inside." "Don't blame this on me, Henry," Mom shot back. "You're right. I apologize." Dad slumped his shoulders. "I was stressed in prepping our house for the holiday. I forgot to close the back door." It was then I noticed a tuft of tabby fur next to Sonny's foot. The behemoth noted my gaze, followed it down, and picked up the object. I gazed in horror as I recognized the bloody remnants of Perky. "Oh, Jesus, Dad!" I stepped back, retching. Sonny held the carcass over its non-existent mouth. The grass and dirt where its jaws should have been opened up and swallowed the remains, then closed over it like it was never there. "What the fuck, Dad?" Joey gasped. "You can't let this thing live out here." "Sonny's my friend. I've been tending him for years. He's still learning what it means to be human." "It's not a human. It's a monster." Ayla spun on her heel and dashed back toward the house. "Ayla, where are you going?" Dad called after her and groaned. "Oh God, what have I done?" We were still lingering near the pile when Ayla returned, carrying a fuel canister. "Ayla, what are you doing?" Dad screamed. "Getting rid of this thing." She darted past him and started dumping fuel all over the mound. "No, wait, the compost is flammable." Dad wrapped his arms around her as she continued to fling fuel. "Get off me. Please, Joey, Bryant, don't let your sister hurt him." I stood back with my mom and brother, too shocked to even respond. Ayla's actions were insane, but so were my dad's. Joey and I locked eyes for a moment. He stepped forward and pulled a matchbox from his pocket. "Sorry, Dad. Sis is right. This thing can't exist." He struck a match and tossed it into the pile. Whoosh. "No!" Dad let go of Ayla and hopped into the compost, trying to stamp out the flames. "Run! Sonny! Run!" But the creature didn't move. It just stood there, observing the unknown substance, like a child unaware of its own destruction. Mom took Dad to the ER afterward to treat his leg burns. Joey drove to his girlfriend's place, trying to forget what had happened. Ayla stayed home and locked herself in her room, refusing to talk to anyone. I wandered outside to the compost pile. The entire mound had been burned to ash. There wasn't a trace of Sonny left. I said a silent prayer for Perky, started back for the house, felt something hard beneath my shoe. I looked down. It was Sonny's seed, pulsing with yellow light. It must have fallen from Dad's pocket during the skirmish. I retrieved it, held it between my thumb and forefinger. I wondered what to do with it.